Right. Wayne's got a question for Peter Dutton here in Brisbane. What is it, mate?
G'day, Paul. Peter. Nice for the opportunity to talk.
Pleasure.
What do you think? A little bit of already said on immigration, Peter, but what would be your plan to deal with immigration now that, like last week on Andrew Bolt, one of his contributors mentioned that there'd be 1.8 million more immigrants coming to Australia over the next 4 years with this government, apparently. And how are we going to deal with that sort of thing with the quality of the people that come in here, as you've seen in the Sydney Opera House and that sort of thing?
Well, Wayne, I know the government, as I said before, talks about a figure of 1.8 million, but each of the predictions they've made so far have blown out by hundreds of thousands. And so that is likely to go over 2 million people. And that's the reality. And as I say, if the Prime Minister had told the Australian public before the election that this was the plan, well, people could have voted accordingly or supported them or voted against them. But it wasn't detailed. So we have to have a properly managed migration program. We have said in terms of the permanent migration program, which is running at about 185,000 a year now, that we will reduce that to 140,000, so by 25% in years 1 and 2. And then that will allow housing to catch up and we can gradually build it back up according to the needs of our country at the time. We need to encourage people to move out into regional areas. For instance, in the Northern Territory, they're yelling out for people to move to the Territory, to Darwin, to Alice Springs, and to be a part of the economy there. But in many parts of the country, people, as I say, are living in cities and in suburbs where there's just no capacity to expand the road network. The public transport's at capacity, and we just haven't had the planning take place. And so I do think you need to have a managed migration program, and that's, again, exactly what we've worked up. And our plan, I think, is more effective. It's going to serve the purposes of our country well. And, you know, Australia's got some, some of the young people you meet and some of the Australian success stories of migration to this country. We live in the best country in the world, and there are millions and millions of people who want to come here. There are millions of people who want to come here, and we shouldn't be ashamed to say that we want the best of those people to come here. And if you do the wrong thing when you are here, well, at least under our government, whilst this government's not doing it, but you can expect to have your visa cancelled if you're not doing the right thing.
I don't want to bore everyone with how the sausage is made, but obviously we've got all of the people in here and then there's all of the media that's travelling with you outside. When that question came up, I noticed a few of them picked up their pens, waiting to see, well, is there a secret dog whistle? I mean, the reality is that you have talked for a long time about the privilege of Australian citizenship, and therefore, you know, if you thrive in this country, we're happy to have you. If you do the wrong thing, then see you later. But also, I mean, we've seen, and I was noticing again, the people that are observing what you're doing about some of the places you've been in this campaign. And you've been into deep multicultural communities. It's part of the path about how you might get yourself close to government. That is the Australian immigration story, that really from where you come doesn't matter, who you are and how you adapt and want to grow the joint. That's what matters, right?
Absolutely. I mean, I'll explain it this way. I think we should be proud of our Indigenous heritage, and I think it's a good thing that we have the language and a celebration of Indigenous heritage. But it's one part of our story. And when we live in our country, we've got an expectation at the moment under this government that people identify under different flags or different tribes. And I believe that we are the best country when we come together as one. Whether you came here, you can trace your family tree back thousands of years, or whether you can trace your family tree back thousands of years or thousands of minutes. We are equal Australians, and I think we need to unite as such. And as part of that, I want us to celebrate more the great migration story. People who have come here from Europe, people who have come here from Asia, people who have come here from all parts of the world, the great migration movement to our country post-World War II, where people came here with nothing. And they've worked hard as Italians or Greeks or Chinese, Indians, whoever it might be. We don't talk anything about it in this country. And we should be talking about it because second, third generation down, people have amassed a fortune, or they're doctors, or their kids are builders, and it's a huge part of our story. You never hear a word of it from the Prime Minister, and I think we should celebrate that. But at the same time say that we're not going to divide people on the basis of race. And this was the point about the referendum on the voice. You come to Australia, and this is exactly what 99% of people do. You come to our country, you've come here with an opportunity presented to you. And for many people, particularly those who have come out of a war-torn region, they come here, they are incredibly passionate about our country because they realise the opportunity that's before them. And that's been the history of our country in many circumstances as well. And again, I think we should spend more time on restoring our national pride and making sure that our kids at school are being taught the basics, not being indoctrinated at school.
Bloody oath.